Hey, listeners, ready to transform your sleep? Cozy Earth is all about lasting luxury and comfort. Their bamboo sheets have been called the world's softest sheets, cooling, moisture wicking, and unbelievably soft. And I can tell you they get better with every wash. And they have a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty.
But it doesn't stop there. They have bath, sleepwear, loungewears, and even skincare. Free shipping on orders of $50 or more.
Make sure you go to cozyearth.com, use our code INFOGO at checkout to save 21% off. You can find all of this in the show notes. Welcome to the podcast. I'm William,
And I'm Kat.
and that makes this a dash of info.
Little things you want to know.
Do you enjoy a popsicle?
I sure do, especially on that hot summer day.
Yeah, like July 4th.
Indeed.
I like the little firecracker popsicles, but I like fudgesicles too, though.
I like fudgesicles. My papa used to call them otter pops. I don't even think they make otter pops anymore, but
I don't know. We usually just buy the popsicle brand of pretty much all of that stuff. I don't know. Some of the store brand stuff is just as good, though.
yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, but not the mac and cheese.
No.
You
No, I
gotta
have
eat.
yet to find like an off-brand that tastes
No.
as good as Kraft. However, my kids don't like my youngest might eat mac and cheese, and my oldest will not eat mac and cheese. So it would just be pretty much me eating
Mm.
mac and cheese.
So, Casey, don't like mac and cheese?
It's just not something we've really ever cooked, especially since Nova's not a big like cheese eater. So
Oh man. Well, how did we go from popsicles to mac and cheese?
I don't know. But
Anyway,
if we get back on topic and picture this, it's San Francisco in 1905. The city is quiet under the night air, wooden houses line the streets, gas lamps glow faintly along sidewalks somewhere in a backyard or on a porch, which sits a simple glass cup.
inside that cup is water, some flavored soda powder, and a small wooden stick. It doesn't look like anything important, just something a child forgot. But overnight, the temperatures drop. By morning, that forgotten cup will become one of the most recognizable treats in the world.
Now, this isn't the story of a laboratory breakthrough. It's not the story of a chef chasing perfection. It's not even the story of a business plan. It's just the story of curiosity, a cold night, and an accident. A happy little accident, if you will.
Happy little accidents. Bob Ross.
Indeed. So, because the popsicle, one of the world's most beloved frozen desserts, was invented by an 11-year-old boy. So, let's explore how this forgotten drink became a cultural icon and how its inventor lost control of his own creation, and how a simple idea frozen in time still shapes summer memories more than a century later.
So enter Frank Epperson,
Mhm.
the kid behind the stick. So Frank, he was born in 1894 in San Francisco, California. At the turn of the 20th century, San Francisco was bustling, growing city, cable cars. Well, they were throughout the steep streets. Markets buzzed with activity. The waterfront smelled of salt air and industry. Probably not quite the smell you're looking for today, but and like most kids in America at the time, Frank entertained himself with imagination. There was no video games, no television, no internet. Entertainment often meant experimenting with whatever you could find.
One popular novelty in the early 1900s was flavored soda powder. Companies sold sweet, colorful powders that could be mixed with water to create fizzy drinks at home. It was affordable, fun, and felt a bit like chemistry. Kids loved it. Frank was no exception. He enjoyed mixing flavors, stirring them together, and seeing what happened. It was part of a science experiment, part snack, part boredom cure. And in one evening, 1905, Frank mixed soda powder with water in a cup. He stirred it with a small wooden stick, likely just a simple mixing tool. Then He did what kids often do. He forgot about it. He left the cup outside overnight, and that's where history quietly began. Hey, that could happen to any of us, kids, adults, right?
I wonder if he was making suicide soda powder mixing with water.
Just mixing all the flavors into one drink.
Yeah. Isn't that what
Maybe.
that's called? Suicide mixing?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
You've never done that?
No, my brother did. I
I
was not one of those.
I did that one time. I can't remember where it was at, and my mom was like, "No, you are drinking that."
Right.
Okay, but anyway, so the next morning, well, that first popsicle was discovered. The night turned unusually cold for San Francisco. Temperatures dropped low enough for the water to freeze. When Frank stepped outside the next morning, he found something unexpected, and it was just waiting for him. The drink in the cup had frozen solid. The wooden stick was trapped in the ice. Curious and probably a little excited, Frank pulled the stick upward. The frozen mixture slid out of the cup.
Ice, flavor, handle. He tasted it. Sweet, cold, simple, perfect. Without knowing it, Frank had just invented a completely new kind of treat. Not shaved ice, not ice cream, not even frozen fruit. Something different, portable, fun, easy to eat. And Frank called it the Epsicle, combining his last name, Epperson, with icicle.
Like many childhood inventions, it started small. He shared he shared it with his friends. He made them for his neighbors. Kids loved them. But childhood inventions don't always become lifelong pursuits. And for a long time, this one didn't either. And I say before we get into the childhood trick to adult reality,
So Frank grew up like everybody does, right? Life moved forward, as it always does, and he didn't become a candy maker or an inventor by trade. Instead, he worked various jobs and eventually became a real estate developer. The frozen treat from his childhood became just a story, a memory from when he was 11 years old. But good ideas have a way of waiting patiently. So, years later, in the 1920s, Frank rediscovered the concept. America was changing. Amusement parks were booming. The boardwalks were crowded. Summer recreation was becoming a major part of American culture. And cold treats were really in demand.
so Frank began marketing and selling his frozen stick treats at amusement parks and public events. They were simple to produce, inexpensive to sell, and instantly appealing to children. His own children helped rename the invention. Instead of Epsicle, they called it Popsicle. Popsicle, well, that name stuck. In 1923, Frank did what you do when you invent something. He patented it. A frozen confection on a stick. It was officially born. Popsicles sold for about 5 cents each, making them affordable even during difficult economic times. They were colorful, refreshing, easy to hold, easy to share. Everything about them made sense. Success seemed well within reach, but invention and success don't always stay in the same hands.
So I think before we get the sweet success and a bitter turn, we should take a break.
I think I'm going to have a Coke sickle.
I'm going to have a Pepsicle.
It's not the same. We'll be right back.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I came across Big Fork Brands recently, and it's become one of those finds you actually want to tell people about, and you don't find that often. Okay. They're doing bacon sausage, plus these really solid pork jerky snacks and Chicago style sauces. Basically, upgrade anything you throw them on burgers, hot dogs, fries, throw it on there. It works.
But I bet it's packed full of junk.
Actually, it's made with clean ingredients and real care. That's small batch with no shortcuts, and people are obsessed with the flavor. You can go over to bigforkbrands.com, use our code INFOGO at checkout, and get 20% off anything on the site.
You can find the link and our code in the show notes.
Now that we're back, The 1920s were exciting, but they were also unpredictable. Frank struggled financially, as many adults do, and small inventors trying to manage production, marketing, and distribution. I can imagine that's a task.
I can imagine it's a task. Just running a podcast is a task.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, running a growing business requires more than a good idea. It requires capital, logistics, and stability. So, eventually, Frank was forced to sell the rights to his invention. Aw, sad.
Mm.
He sold them to the Joe Low Company, which was a New York based business that saw the popsicle's potential.
The company expanded production nationwide, and the popsicle, well, it began to spread across America. But success brought competition. One of the biggest rivals was Good Humor, a company known for chocolate coated ice cream bars sold from street carts. Legal disputes followed. The conflict, well, it centered around surprisingly detailed questions. Who owned frozen desserts on sticks? The eventual argument divided the frozen treat world into a strangely simple way. Popsicle controlled water based frozen treats on sticks. Good Humor controlled ice cream based treats on sticks.
It sounds almost humorous today, but it shaped the frozen dessert industry for decades. Now, meanwhile, Frank Epperson faded into the background. His invention grew into a national sensation without him at the center. It's a familiar story in the history of innovation. The idea survives, but the inventor disappears.
And popsicles, well, they have become an American icon. By the 1930s, popsicles were everywhere, and their timing couldn't have been better. During the Great Depression, Americans had, well, little money for luxuries, but a popsicle, it was still affordable. For just a few cents, children could enjoy a moment of sweetness on a hot summer day. And that really mattered. Small joys can feel enormous during hard times.
Popsicles became part of American childhood. The sticky hands, the bright colors, dripping sweetness down your wrist before you could finish. And during World War II, they carried nostalgia, reminders of home, of normal life, of summers before uncertainty.
Have you ever, I know you have, when that thing is hot outside and it like I remember as a kid, I would never do this as an adult, but as a kid, you would lick your hand to get that
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Mm.
yeah, and after the war, s suburbs, well, they expanded. Backyards filled with laughter, sprinklers ran across green lawns, ice cream trucks played familiar melodies, and popsicles remained part of the rhythm of summer.
And flavors multiplied over the decades to cherry, grape, orange, root beer, lime, strawberry, blue raspberry. Eventually, entire freezers were filled with them. And today, billions of popsicles are sold worldwide each year. All of them trace back to a single forgotten cup in 1905.
The power of happy accidents, as Bob Ross likes to say. Let's return back to that porch in San Francisco. A glass, a cup, a wooden stick, a child who forgot to clean up. Nothing about that moment seemed important.
No audience, no announcement, no intention to invent anything. Just curiosity and coincidence.
And we love curiosity.
And coincidence.
Well, curiosity because it's the theme of our show.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And coincidences too, because it is a coincidence that you and I are recording together.
Yes. Yes. A happy accident, if you will.
Happy accident over here.
So, history often celebrates genius, planning, and brilliance, but sometimes innovation comes from something simpler: mistakes, play, and accidents.
And Frank didn't set out to invent a global treat. He just loved to drink outside on a cold night. And more than a century later, the world is still enjoying the result. So the next time you unwrap a popsicle on a hot afternoon, remember this.
It wasn't invented in a factory,
And it wasn't designed in the laboratory.
it was discovered.
And this bicentennial 250-year celebration, have a popsicle while you watch the fireworks. Yeah, I mean, I thought this one was pretty fun,
Me too.
but that's pretty much all I've got.
Me too. If you would like to support this podcast, tell a friend and help get the word out.
If you would like to support the show, you can do so at Patreon or take advantage of some of our sponsors. Those links are in the show notes.
And as always, William and I want to thank you for listening.
Whether you've been with us from day one or just tuned in, thank you.
Join the Facebook group at Info on the Go
Over there, get to know us.
or ask us a question.
But whatever you do, make sure you hit that follow button wherever you're listening to this podcast.
Send us fan mail using the link in the show notes or leave a review.
And we do love reading those reviews and fan mail, but you can also email Kat or myself directly at
infoonthegopodcast@gmail.com.
and all of this is in the show notes. Till next time.
Stay curious.
Every morning starts with a choice. Don't settle for just coffee. Rise up with strong coffee. Meet the world's strongest cup of joe. Strong isn't just a drink, it's a movement. And strong stands for striving to reach our natural greatness.
Born from one simple need to be better. They rebuilt coffee from the ground up, infusing organic coffee with collagen, protein, nootropics, and functional ingredients that fuel your body and sharpen your mind. There's no crash, no compromises, just clean energy, focus, and flavor that fires you up.
Whether you're chasing kids, chasing goals, or chasing greatness, don't just wake up, rise up. Strong coffee, the world's strongest cup of joe, for a world ready to be better.
Use code INFOGO at checkout to save 15%.